Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live Show, where I, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy, we hop on every Friday and host a live podcast, for lack of a better word. And the reason I say lack of a better word, because lately I've been thinking about what this is. Is it a show? Is it a podcast? Is it a chat? Trying to figure out an appropriate tagline, because typically podcasts are taped. And what we do is so much more casual, but more importantly, live. So there are no second chances. Whatever we say, whatever the guest says, that's what you see. Good morning, Tracy.
Hi. I would say it's a podcast in the raw.
Oh, okay. I feel like, I don't know, for some reason lately I've been thinking about naming it appropriately. And, I don't know why.
I don't know that there's a word because, I mean, it is an Instagram Live, right? That's what it is. But then we save it to YouTube and we save it to, Spotify.
And that's the part that I'm struggling with a little bit, because so many people, I know I myself, sometimes when I forget what the guest mentioned and I want to tag them, I listen to it. So there is an audio version available too. But when I listen to it without the visuals of us being on camera, I can't put them together in that it doesn't. So many podcasts are so polished because they're edited and slowed down, and the speed that I talk at, it's like,
yes. Well, it's funny you say that, because I was listening to a podcast in the car the other day and I was thinking the same thing, that I was like, should we be editing this post? Which, who has the bandwidth for that? But should we have like the lead in that's like, hello, you're listening to NOFO
the voice of God would be you, not me, that's for sure. For those who don't know what voice of God is, what is that, Tracy, while I'm waiting for
so when you're at an event and you hear the voice come over the speakers that says, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. That's called the voice of God. And often at events, I am the voice of God.
You do it very well. And
the reason I'm qualified for this is because most people wouldn't know this, but I actually was the voice of the Rockefeller Christmas tree and ice skating rink for many, many years.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Not live, not when you were there, but like when you would call the number to find out what was going on. I was the voice you heard that said, we are open on Mondays through Sunday from 9 to 5. That was me.
So does our podcast show need a voice of God? We'll leave it out there for people to come back and tell us. Do we need a tagline? Do we need an opening line? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Mary, your thoughts?
Hi,
I'm
Mary.
just like, it's one more surprise about Tracy. It's like she's full of surprises.
Yeah. Wait until you hear that I'm actually operatically trained to sing.
Oh, I just heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's not really, not operatically, that's wrong. It's classically, but yeah.
I don't see Stacey on here. Did she request to be on?
No, and I think when I was trying to see your request, I kept accepting, but it wasn't going on. But
so it froze.
So
I redo it. So Stacey, if you're on there, just put in request to be live.
If I can send it. What is she? She's going to be on as NOFO Pilates, right?
Yes.
Stacey just texted me. I'm waiting and watching your story. Are you on?
Hold on. She has to request.
I'm going to invite her right now, see if she sees it. Okay. Just a little bit of a background. Because this is an Instagram show, the way it works is I log on as the host, and then if you are the guest that day, then please send a request to join. And the reason I say if you're a guest, because sometimes audience members that are watching will hit a request to be in the live, and I'm like, do they really want to be part of the conversation? So you can watch the show without doing anything, but if you want to be on camera, that's when you hit the request to join the show. It was. Hello, good morning.
Thank
Live from the studio. Hi.
Okay, let's dive into it real quick, because I know, Stacey, you have to go teach a Pilates class.
Yep.
So let's start with you. Introduce who you are and what you do for your wellness journey here.
Sure. So
my name is Stacey Krumenacker, and most people know me as a Pilates instructor. I teach at various studios in town. I'm now at Greenport Pilates Yoga and Wellness, Giving Room, Karuna, Underground. I used to be a yoga instructor, had an injury, and find that Pilates works better for my body right now. Still love the practice, though. I'm also a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, so had a previous career in that. Definitely do that a little bit on the side and would like to be doing more of that. And I really have a passion for movement, and the movement that I teach is very structured, as you can imagine. I think you just think of structure with the word Pilates. So I love ecstatic dance because it gives me a chance to just move freely. So no one's telling me how to move. And as someone who loves movement, I really just thrive on being able to be very expressive. Yeah. And so that is kind of how we found ecstatic dance, I think, and decided that we wanted to bring it to the North Fork because there aren't a lot of options to dance here.
Okay, so quick background on you, Mary. What is your background with breathwork?
I feel like I could talk forever, so I'll be quick. I've done all kinds of things. I've inspected diamonds. I was a tech person. I got into wellness because I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been in it since 2006. I now teach a breath work that helps move energy. And so Stacey and I connected at a web group talking about dance, sort of like, hi, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. She's like, wait, you like to dance? And so I was like, yeah, Ecstatic Dance in Brooklyn? Yeah. Why don't we have it out here? I don't know. Why don't we have anywhere to dance out here? Nobody knows. I mean, wow. I grew up, my dad had a disco on Patchogue in the late 70s. So I'm just like, where am I going? Where am I moving? And she was totally into it. And like, we just like went, woo, gotta find a place, gotta get it together, gotta go, whatever. And so it's been an incredible experience and journey.
Pause.
Yeah.
For somebody who hasn't been to the web group, this is the condensed version of what ends up happening there. Literally this. People you haven't met or kind of heard about in your sphere or on the North Fork, you get there and you're like, you and me, we're doing something.
Totally.
And here you two are. This is awesome. I love this story.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
And I'm going to, because she's only got like 2 minutes, I want Stacey to talk about like why it's so important to move ecstatic dance. I could talk about the breathwork portion later, but
yeah, sure. So ecstatic dance, again, it's free form movement. And if you've never been to an ecstatic dance, one of the main things about it is there's no talking on the dance floor. So that's a very unique aspect of ecstatic dance. There's also no shoes, so you feel very grounded, free. And then no phones, ideally. I mean, maybe a quick pic here and there, but you know, it's really about
private.
Being in the moment. Also private, yeah. Being in the moment. So it's creating a meditative state. So it's the idea that you're fully in the present moment listening to the music. You're not being distracted by someone's story or by someone asking you, you know, or sharing with you something about them, and now you're somewhere else.
And also, I want to just say, you don't have to go to this event and socialize. Because if you hate socializing, you might not go to something, you know, you might not go to a big group thing that you don't know anyone there.
Yes.
You don't have to. You come in, you do your stretch, you do your breath work with Mary, and then you're in your little zone, and you see people and you smile, but you don't have to talk to anybody, which I think is important because I think this is a new concept for a lot of people out here. And they're kind of like, what is this? I don't know. I'm nervous. This is out of my comfort zone. Like, you can literally just go and do your thing if you want. Or you can connect with a million people and dance with them and whatever. But it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I want to also talk about an important, another aspect of it that I know, Tracy, is dear to your heart as well. It is an alcohol-free
clean event.
I guess I don't want to say substance-free, but you know what I mean? It is free. So
event.
can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So it's really about just come as you are, right? Your true nature. If you're super sad that day, you're super happy that day, everybody's welcome. There's no expectations. There's no expectation of how you're arriving. There's no expectation of how you dance. Maybe you do one dance and then you feel like you need to sit and in the kind of chill out area and just listen to the music. That's also fine. So there's no expectations when you come to the dance. There's also no judgment. We talk a lot at the beginning of the dance about it being a judgment-free zone. So in addition to not judging others for how they're feeling, dancing, we're also not judging ourselves. So sometimes
we're trying.
We're trying.
We're trying. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
But
point.
I feel like a lot of people feel like expressing their bodies through movement. Sometimes they feel a little bit shy. They feel like they're going to be judged because movement can often be associated with performance and how you look. And ecstatic dance is associated with how you feel. So a lot of people feel like they need to maybe have a drink before they can move this way to feel more free. So this environment is hopefully encouraging people to be able to feel free to move how they want to move, the prettiest dance, the ugly dance, the fastest, the slowest, whatever it is. There's really no right or wrong on the dance floor at all. And so, yeah, so it's a space where you can do that and you don't really, well, hopefully you don't really need a drink or a substance to get you there.
Yeah. It's really, what I also found is you can move in any way you want. And doesn't matter what the song is. Because I often will kind of look around and see, I've gone to both. I loved them. I was like very nervous and very sort of judging myself and worried, like, is everyone gonna, watch the way I dance? And I consider myself a good dancer. So for me,
I was gonna say, you are a good dancer. Yeah. You're comfortable with it. So imagine somebody that is already hesitant about that aspect.
Exactly. And what I saw was there were people who barely moved and they just kind of bounced around. There were people who were rolling around on the floor. There were people who were in the middle. There were people who were doing an organized cha-cha, and there was like, it's just like whatever. And it doesn't matter what you do to this beat or the song. It's what beat you hear, what feeling you hear. So some people to the exact same song were doing all of those things.
So it's more about a static movement rather than a static dance, if you will, right? And a large component of it sounds therapeutic / healing.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. It's really that idea that movement is medicine. It's a transformative experience. Maybe I'm going to jump off soon, so maybe Mary will talk about like sort of the format of ecstatic dance, how it starts and ends, and everything that's usually in it. But by the end, it is a bit of a cathartic feeling. Like, whew, I like shook some stuff off, shook some out, shook some stuff up, like all those things. And then you leave feeling, well, first you feel kind of ecstatic, but hopefully then you leave feeling very grounded and just kind of like you've changed tune a little bit.
Yes.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
so much.
I'm sorry I missed it.
I'm sure your Pilates group will be happy to see you back again.
And thank you for bringing ecstatic dance to the North Fork.
Oh my God. Thank you all for coming and co-creating the dance floor so that I get to dance too.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
So Mary, somebody was asking, and I know we responded that October 4th is the next event, but you've had 2 events so far.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit of what to expect when someone shows up. What is the structure of the evening like?
Okay. So the first and the third will be exactly the same format. We tried to do less movement instruction for the second time just because of timing, and people like to show up late, so we really don't want people to miss stuff. But we're going to go back to the movement portion. So you arrive, Riesel Farms is gorgeous. I can honestly say I passed it 100 times or more. And I was like, look at that crest. Look at the crest. Oh, they're Italian. Okay. But I never went in. And so when I finally went in there, I was like, oh my God, in this space. Like, so that helped us sort of design a little bit of it. So like, yes, we're grounded. Yes, you can put your feet in the dirt outside. Yes, there's fire. So all of those elements sort of play into the entire experience, which we're so grateful for. It just all came together. Thank you, Deirdre and Enid. So the way that it works is people show up, doors open at 6:15. The market stays open. They're so wonderful to do that. You could buy non-alcoholic drinks. You can buy snacks. You can buy, you don't have to buy water. We actually serve Kangen water, which is a living water. And so you have about a half an hour to sort of slough off your day by just chilling and forgetting everything. And that's what the intention is. And if you want to say hi to people, like you can do that at that moment as well. And then we'll start with a welcome. We'll explain some of the rules of ecstatic dance. And again, like it's not like rules, you can't do anything, but like, you know, privacy is important. You don't want to be filming someone while they're having a cathartic experience. So things like that, where the bathrooms are, the market. And we try and get started by 6:45. Which again, it's like sometimes if you're my people, it's like herding feral cats. And it's always super fun. Like everybody's wonderful, but like to get everyone together, everybody's so excited. We'll start with a welcome and then I will do the breath work, which gets people more grounded. Tracy has done this sort of breath work before, which I'm super excited about because it is very hard to describe. Yeah. But the shortened version of it, which is what I do out and about in town and up island, gets people sort of into their body, shakes off a bit of this stuff from their day, their week, the intensity, the stress, as much as they can, and gets them connected to themselves so that they can be inside their bodies and prepared for breath work. And so breath work and dance. And so after breath work, we move into the movement that Stacey helps people with. And it's just like, move your body, feel your body. She does a few of these exercises to sort of get you to be a little bit conscious of your space, your body, how it moves. And then we go right into the DJ set. And that's usually about 2 hours.
Wait, hold on a minute. Did you say 2 hours?
It's 2 hours. Yeah. You don't have to dance for 2 hours, but the DJ plays for 2 hours. Yeah. But there's like a slow start. So there's a beats per minute map essentially for ecstatic dance, which is kind of similar to what I do in my breathwork classes. We start off slowly, we work our way up, we increase the energy, and you have like that, experience, very cathartic experience, and then the DJs bring it back down. So after the music, we have somebody that does sound healing. So this time we have Clarice Kelsa, who's going to be doing a gong bath. Yeah, she's awesome. We love her. She's at the Giving Room a lot now too, so check her out. She's one of the most incredible humans I've met. I love her. And so she's handling the closing circle this time and the gong bath. And the acoustics in there are incredible. So the gong's going to sound awesome. It brings us back down into our body, puts us like in that cathartic state of like releasing energy, which can be cathartic. It brings us back down into our bodies, into a sense of gratitude, and kind of helps us just come back to center. Because, somatic movement, somatic breath work, all of that, like, when you start popping open the stuff that's in your body and you're like releasing, like it could be pretty big. Like even sometimes in breath work, the experiences are pretty big. So you want to sort of gather all this stuff and bring it back and,
So I have a question actually for Tracy. Tracy, yes. Take off your co-host hat and put on your attendee hat because you've been through these, right? What was your individual experience like?
Yeah. I was going to explain exactly what Mary just said, but from my perspective. So the breath work gets...
we didn't even discuss it.
The breath work gets your mind ready. So the breath work gets you like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm going to slow down, let's focus on where we are, let's leave the rest outside the barn. I'm now emotionally ready to do this. And then Stacey took us through movement, which was very it was helpful, especially as a first timer, to understand that we're not going to all hip hop and do a TikTok dance together, right? Which I was fully prepared to do if that's what it was. However, and she gets your body awake and you kind of start moving your body, your limbs, you're stretching your back. And then it just kind of naturally goes in. The one thing you didn't mention, Mary, is that we do all state our intention, right? We go around and state our intention.
That's the opening circle. Yeah.
There's an opening circle and a closing circle, which is really cool, a personal experience, because your intention for why you're there, and then seeing what you experienced, what you got out of it, is the closing circle. And it's just one word. It's not like everybody goes around and says a big thing. You just say what your one word is. So once the DJ starts, like she said, there's very much a crescendo in the middle, and then it comes back down. And it is, I had talked about this in my reel. I had this moment at the crescendo where I was like looking up at the ceiling dancing, and I was like, oh my God, like every mom needs to do this. I feel so good. I got so much off of me. And then what's interesting, since I always share way too much, what's interesting that happened to me on the second one is that I got caught up here. I started comparing myself to other people on the dance floor, and I started to criticize my body, and I didn't have the same cathartic experience because I was too busy up here. And I even said to Mary and Stacey, I was like, I can't get out of my head. I'm trying to get out of my head. I can't get out. And that to me just kind of shows like the power that our bodies and minds have over ourselves, and how they can completely change an experience that's exactly the same. So really doing that, being there and doing that wind down like she was talking about. I'll admit the second one I did come like right before the start, but coming and sitting around the fire pit and letting yourself relax, and then doing the breath work to get your mind present. And then and then the sound bath at the end. I mean, if you've never done a sound bath, it's amazing. And you feel like you just ran a marathon while also doing 10 therapy sessions in a row. That's essentially how you feel. And then the sound bath just calms you down, and when you leave, you're like, oh, I just feel
blissed
wonderful.
out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it seems, I don't want to say intense. It seems like a lot. So my question, Mary, to you is, does anybody need to do anything to prepare themselves to be here? Or is it really just arrive as you are at that opening circle and
Literally arrive as you are? And that's where the brain gets caught up. Like the intention is like, what's this going to be like? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to wear? When we put out as much information as we can so that you can grapple with the brain and just be like, okay, I have things I know I need to do. Because some of us are very intellectually driven, and we need instructions and we need all of that. But just to have those things first, and then just to literally arrive as you are. And if something got messed up along the way, let it go. Like if you forgot something, let it go. Just like show up and do your thing. I know it sounds, I guess if you've never done it, it sounds like a big experience, and it is. I mean, part of the problem that I think we have in society generally is that we have so much caught in our bodies, and not everybody wants to come, and I hate to say this, but like not everybody wants to come and have a breathwork experience and like release things in their body that they've been putting down because their brain doesn't want them to feel it or remember it or experience it. So breathwork brings it up and gets some of the energy out. And when you combine breathwork, movement, and meditation, you get that entire series of energy movement. So you're clearing stuff out, whether you are completely engaged with it or not, because sometimes let's just let our body move and go. I feel like from whether it's a class that you take or breathwork or ecstatic dance, like people leave feeling lighter. And that's the point. Like the whole point is to like slough out some of the stuff, like I like to call it emotional shrapnel, from memories and things that happen in our lives, just to like help clear some of it out. Because if you don't, it's going to seep out some other way. And this is what I tell the people that sit with me in breathwork. It's like, if you don't shake this up and let some of it loose and you keep it all tightly knotted, you'll be triggered. You might have trouble in your relationships. You're going to feel bad. It can make you physically sick. So this whole experience of mind, body, spirit connection, which is happening in ecstatic dance, is like all three modalities all at once, but it doesn't have to be intense. I tell people this in my breathwork. It's like, it's only as intense as you want it to be. You're completely in control. There's nobody running around healing you in breathwork either. You're the one, like I'm just the tour guide, right? And you're the one that's healing yourself. You're the one that's moving your own energy. Like I help sometimes, but dance and breathwork and meditation, like these are the reasons why these modalities are out there, because there's so much. The world's mad. You know?
Yeah.
We got to get it out. We're not created. Humans are not created to have this much bandwidth to handle everything in the world. We just don't. So we have to get some of it out.
Well, as
I think another good thing to mention is that for someone who maybe has trouble meditating, sitting quietly and connecting with the universe in that way, this is another way to connect with, it's another way to meditate without having to sit quietly, because you really, that's why there's no phones, that's why there's no talking, that's why there's no alcohol, so that you really can get into that meditative state, but you don't have to be sitting still to do it.
Yeah. And we're trying to like curb any of the bypassing. So like, you know, we drink or we do whatever we do to like help us with something, but it's still diverting us. It's diverting the attention from dealing with what's happening. So that's why it's a clean event.
I love, as you're talking, you know, when we talk about food as well, food is medicine. Here, movement is medicine. I love that the individual is in control of how much or what kind of experience they want to have that day, right? Because immediately when you said 2 hours, and I'm counting the opening circle, ending circle, I'm thinking that's like a commitment of time, right? But that's such a, even as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, what am I saying? That's such a small amount of time to give to yourself.
3 hours. It's 3 hours.
So it's just, the brain is fighting me right here by itself. Nobody got time for that. But if you don't have time for that, then how are you even functioning the rest of your life? Or how are you getting the tools to sort of do better in the rest of your life? So
we all need a way to like, to get some of that stuff out. I think everyone needs it. Whether just find your modality, whatever it is, find something, because we can't hold that much.
Yeah. Well, I personally am so glad that Ecstatic Dance East End has been formed and is on the East End. It's been just life-changing, truthfully, because having that kind of, you know, as a mom who has to get a babysitter, you really have to kind of pick and choose like what you're gonna take time away from your kid and pay the babysitter, and this was like so worth it. I will be there on October 4th. I can't wait. I haven't missed one yet. So.
When can we get tickets for October 4th?
They've been on sale, so you can click on the link in our bio. So Ecstatic Dance East End here on Instagram. There's a link that takes you to a Stripe page, and you deal with it there. We also, both Stacey and I, share it outwardly on our own personal.
Can you buy it on the day off, like at the door, if somebody decides?
You can. We will eventually have a cap, so we want to make sure that like those who want to come get in, and it helps us prepare. So we have Kangen water, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like reverse osmosis and enlivened water. So water has all the elements that's supposed to be in there, and there's a woman named Libby Koch who sells Kangen water machines, and she delivers that water for free that's filtered. And so that's one of the reasons why we need to know how many people are going to be there. And then sometimes I make things. I'm going to try and make something this time just to have an idea before the event starts. So ahead of time, ticket sales are always helpful.
Is it still early bird, Mary?
Early bird was limited to a number of tickets. We haven't sold out yet.
Okay.
So,
okay. I'm getting my early bird today.
Okay. So the code is early bird, all caps. Also, I know we're going to get into 5 questions, but I just want to say, like, Breeze Hill Farm has been so incredible. Like, what they're giving us, what they're doing, they really want to be involved with the community, and that's how I got connected to them. They've been incredible, and they're like, we just love what's happening here. So it's been so sweet.
I have the same experience as you. I drove past 1,000 times, and I've
never been in.
Say that the first time I went was at the foodie tour, and my jaw was on the floor. They are incredible. Apple orchard. I mean, beyond. I can't. You are so. I understand how you feel about them, because and that space and that. I guess it's a barn. I don't know what else to call it.
A Quonset hut. It came from World War II. Like
it's amazing. All of it is amazing.
Yeah, and it is literally the perfect location. Like, it is so perfect for what you're doing. Okay, let's go into the NOFO Live 5 because it's already 9:29. Okay, Mary, if you were going to take Sunita and I out to lunch or dinner, where would you take us?
Can we do brunch?
Yes.
I've been living in San Francisco for a long time. Brunch is my thing. Bruce and Sons. So Stacey and I meet out a lot. Yeah, Bruce and Sons. Yeah, probably. I'm gonna keep it short. I love every place.
Mushroom coffee. I don't even know what that was, Tracy, but it was great.
You had the mushroom coffee.
I don't know what it was. It was great. I don't even drink coffee, and that was great. Sunrise or sunset? What is healing for you?
Um, I wish I could do sunrise, but I'm a sunset girl, and so is Stacy. And Stacy's favorite is 67 Steps, and I love the sunset. Just any like Little Fish walking out that way is really beautiful. Anywhere on the Sound, I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere.
You can't go wrong. You can't go
Can't go
wrong.
wrong. And from my backyard, I get to see the sun drop behind the trees. That's really pretty.
Yes. I like to tell people really driving on the LIE, you can catch it really quick. I mean, because
True. This
really,
is true.
depending on the time of the year, that orange orb is just amazing anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cocktail, mocktail, brewery, winery, what do you enjoy for yourself?
We don't drink that much, but I will we go to wineries when we have company. Stacy does the same. Oh my God, what did she say? I totally forgot. We always take somebody to Croteau. If I'm in a cocktail mode, it's Black Llama Bar for the hotter older brother or the Beaver Fever at Frisky Oyster.
Beaver? Why?
Yeah.
First,
Favorite
Beaver
cocktail.
Fever.
Yeah, but I don't drink it often.
People
But when
come
I
up
do,
with these creative
it's
names.
hilarious. Oh my God,
Hotter
they're so
older
good.
brother. I love that. That's great.
I'm in
That's
awe.
great. Okay, so when you're cooking at home, which I'm sure you do,
Yes.
and eating healthy and local, where are you getting your produce? What's your farm stand go to?
So Stacy's is Deep Roots Farm. I live right near Wickham, so I grab stuff from there and from Sangli.
Yeah.
And Yard Crop built me a garden, so we're growing stuff.
So
Yay!
so great. I love that. I mean, I know Stacey had to leave early because she has to teach a Pilates class, but I love that you guys collaborated, collected the answers together. I'm glad you shared our input too, so we're getting
we're good balance.
Well, the last question is, why do you love being a part of the North Fork community?
Well, it's both of us at the same time. We love the sense of community. It's beautiful, of course, but Stacy pointed out, she's like, everybody's just so friendly and happy. And I know there's people say there's kind of like a vortex somewhere in Laurel. It's like, as soon as you get over some point in Laurel, you're just like, and it's not that like Jamesport, Aquabog, you don't get that feeling, but there's something that's definitely triggered when you hit Laurel. So then when you come out, it's just like, decompression, it just feels good to be out here. And then we have nature and all of that. But the community is fantastic. I love the web group. There's so many different pods of people and so many wonderful pods of people. We feel pretty lucky to be out here, the both of us. We both grew up Island, so.
Well, we feel pretty lucky that you guys decided to collaborate and bring this out here, because I think it is a wonderful event. If you haven't tried it and you want to come, October 4th, I will be there.
Yeah.
You can come up to me when you get there and talk to me, and I'll tell you all about my experiences, and you don't have to feel nervous. And
we're going to make you the welcoming committee.
the voice of God. Yeah. She'd be the voice of God.
Yeah.
We'll put you on that. We'll give you the headset and you can whisper.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Thank you, Mary, for joining us.
So good to see you all again.
And we'll see you on the 4th.
Yep.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
Happy weekend.